Hey, what's up? It's Andrew here at Vespa Portland, and the day is over. It's 6:05. We're out of here. Alarm is set. Door is locked. Time to hit the road. I live in North Portland, and usually when I'm heading home, it's just boring I-5 straight up to North Portland. But it's a beautiful sunny day today, as you can see. Summer's almost here. It's like Saturday, I think. And instead of that, I'm going to take a little bit of a longer way home. We get a lot of questions. We actually got some today from people asking, like, where can I ride my scooter? Because, you know, when you have a car, sometimes when you're going somewhere, all you do is just put in Google Maps and then you follow the directions the fastest way you can get there and back home. But it's not always obvious, like, where to go for, like, on a longer, scenic kind of ride. Not giving away any big secrets here. This is a pretty common route that a lot of motorcycle and scooter riders use all the time. This is just Skyline Drive to Germantown. We're going to go the north version. It's going to drop us off in St. John's. Okay, getting on the road here. One thing you guys may not know about when you come to our shop, if you need to get back to the west side, instead of dealing with MLK and Grand, you can actually just come right back here behind our shop, turn on 3rd, head toward this gigantic building they just finished. Go under the Burnside Bridge, turn right again, and you are basically jumping right on the Burnside Bridge without any traffic. So I'm taking the most simple route you can do to get up to Skyline. There's actually some other routes you can take which are a little more scenic, a little longer, a little twistier than just straight Burnside, but to make it easy, here's your primer and then you can kind of go explore yourself. So here we are on MLK. We're just going to turn right and head over to the Burnside Bridge. It's June 2020 and COVID is still going on, and because of that there's way less people on the road, which is fantastic for riding in general. It's a great time if you're a new rider to kind of get your bearings, your sea legs, and feel comfortable on the road before everybody's back on it with you. Although we open up officially in phase 1 tomorrow, so guess we'll see how that goes. We're basically just going to follow this ridge line that you can see out there right behind downtown. Skyline just basically follows the very top of that ridge and will take us all the way over to the St. John's Bridge. Coming across the Burnside Bridge, if you were to turn left and work your way onto Southwest Broadway going that direction, you can follow Broadway all the way up past Portland State University into the hills, and you'll go kind of by the hospital up there, and then you'll end up in the West Hills that way toward Council Crest Park. It's pretty easy from that point to head on to Skyline as well, but you got to do a few other things with, like, Southwest Humphrey, turn on those roads, that sort of thing. You could also go up by the Timbers Stadium, Providence Park, right up there on the left side. There's a street called Vista. If you turn on that, it's the same sort of thing. It's shorter than going the Broadway version because there's not as much road left by that point in the route, but that's another way to do it. There's nice views on the Vista Bridge as well, and that'll get you up there just the same. But for us, we're just taking straight Burnside. Now this is going to be a perfectly fine route for anybody on a 125, 150, 170, 200, 250, 300. Anything kind of above a 50. There is a pretty hilly part on this route heading up toward Washington Park where oh, there's Jacob delivering caviar. Anyway, there's a hilly part where even like a 150 is kind of going to slow down a little bit, so anything above a 50 is kind of ideal. One of my favorite things about Oregon, if you don't live here, I guess this video could be seen by people who don't live here as well, and if that's the case and you like what you see, come ride with us sometime. There's a lot going on. But anyway, I'm from San Diego, California originally. I've been here like 13 or 14 years at this point. And one of my favorite things about Oregon still is how quickly you get out of the city and into what feels like the middle of nowhere, but you're really still close to everything. And Skyline has that same sort of feel. All right, still heading up Burnside. That's Providence Park, where the local MLS team, the Portland Timbers, plays. Go Timbers. There's Vista right there, right by the zoo pans. And at this point, we're basically out of downtown already. So you've got 25th Place, I think, is one of the last roads right here at this signal, and then it's on up into Skyline. One thing we're gonna miss on this ride, because I'm not taking the longer version, is the Aubrey Watzek house, which is designed by John Yon back in like 1936. If you're into mid-century modern architecture, that's worth Googling. I'll put the name of that in the description of the video. But you can sort of see it on one part of Skyline, but as is the case with most of those mid-century designers, they tried to keep the homeowner's privacy at the top of mind, so you can't see a lot from the street. But all right, at this point we're out of downtown, still heading up Burnside. If you follow this long enough, it'll turn into Barnes, and it will take you over to Beaverton, and of course Pittock Mansion, former home of the guy who founded the Oregonian newspaper, is going to be up here as well. There's the sign, Pittock Mansion. Here's the new pedestrian bridge they just installed for the, I think it's the Wildwood Trail. Again, if you don't live here and you end up coming out, Forest Park has something like 80 miles worth of trails for you to walk around on and enjoy the Northwest, and they're right out of downtown. This is the last bit of Burnside right here. We're going to go through a tunnel completed in 1940. This route is used very often by local scooter clubs and any kind of group ride setting. It's just a road that's been kind of well known for a long time. But if you're a new rider in Portland, maybe you don't know about it, and it's worth your time to come check it out. Okay. So here's a cemetery that you can see on the right. We're going to stop right here. This is a cool little turnout. I think it's part of the same cemetery. It's got a nice view. I really rarely stop here. I mean, by the time I'm over here, I'm on the way home, but here's what it looks like. And so you got a great view of Mount St. Helens, which I'm sure that the GoPro is not doing a great job of showing you, but if you're out here, you can hang and check out the views. So we just came from there, but the main draw of Skyline is that it's really nicely paved. There's a few spots in it where it's a touch rough, but for the most part, it's just a really nice road that you can kind of let loose on. I wouldn't go too fast up here. There's definitely been some motorcycle cops that hang out and kind of bust people, but you know, you can maintain a nice 40-ish miles an hour plus up here. At this first part of Skyline, there's way more houses. It becomes a little more spaced out, so you get a little bit of speed bump action on this end, the southern end of Skyline toward downtown. Oh, that's someone we know. That's D, another caviar person. That's two of our customers I've spotted today delivering food. Scooters are out and about, people. There's going to be a few intersections we come up on, one of which is, I think the first one is actually with Cornell. Cornell will bring you up to this same road out of Northwest Portland, and it's another kind of quick way to get up here. On the left right here is Skyline Burgers. This is a really old school burger and shake place to come to. It's definitely a cool little place, and they have good shakes. So that's downtown, like I told you. That's toward Beaverton, and then straight is how you keep getting on to Skyline. And here's a bunch of people hanging out, socially distant. This part of Skyline doesn't have any speed bumps, which is nice. It does have a little more chewed up asphalt in some sections, especially as you get into some of the shady areas. But mostly it's just large neighborhoods, large homes and nice views. Once you have this road memorized, it's super fun. Also, it's super fun when you're not behind a car. It's gorgeous weather today in Oregon, or in Portland. It's 77 degrees. Big pothole on the right side there, and another stop. So again, if you go right, you'll head back into downtown. If you go left, you'll head into Beaverton. One thing you want to look out for up here is bicyclists. There are a lot. I've been tracking this ride with an app called Rever, R-E-V-E-R. It's an alright app. Basically, you push the record button and it draws a line wherever you go. At this moment, we are 7.8 miles away from Vista, Portland, and it has taken 16 minutes to get here. I believe by the time we get to the St. John's Bridge, it'll be 15-ish miles, so about 8 more to go, a little less. Here's the cemetery again. Some more nice twisty roads. There it is. Actually, it's a big house. I guess it's not a barn. But there is a barn coming. Right here. I think you could definitely get away with doing this on a 50. You might want to move over a little bit. Cars that are up here seem to want to go a little quicker. Here's the Skyline Tavern. It'll be open again someday. Tomorrow, probably. And then that is the end of this stretch of Skyline. Now, if you wanted to keep going north, you can definitely do that. At this intersection, just keep going straight. It'll take you all the way up toward Scappoose. You're going to go to like roads like Northwest McNamee, but for today, we're going to cut right here, which will take us down to St. John's. If we'd gone left, you'd be on, I guess it's Germantown the whole time, and it takes you over into like Helvetia, where the Helvetia Tavern is. It's a great place for a burger. But this is Germantown heading south down the hill. A lot of bicyclists again, a lot of cars. The downside of that is I've actually come down this hill a few times on a blind corner just like this one, and there's a bicycle coming up the hill and an impatient person in a car behind them coming over the yellow line to pass. There's a bunch of trailheads through here as well for Forest Park. It extends all the way up here. A tree fell down. As you get to the bottom of the hill, the turns are a little tighter. You're going to start seeing some speed bumps appear again. This is a really common bypass for people who live in northeast Portland who have to work in Hillsborough or Beaverton. You can skip all of Highway 26 by going this way. Of course, it's bumper to bumper a lot of mornings and evenings on the way back. More of a tight turn. And now you're seeing a lot more of the traffic that's kind of more common at the end of the day here. So you can see these guys up here on these motorcycles who are coming down from the St. John's Bridge, and they're going to make the left turn over here onto Germantown to head up towards Skyline. But for us, we're going south at this point, and we're going to head over to the St. John's Bridge. I'm going to recommend that you check out a few different places up here in St. John's. Two Stroke Coffee being the first one. Over in Kenton, a little further down, is Cycle Master Coffee, which is actually a scooter and moped themed coffee shop. There's a really great Mexican market called Tienda Santa Cruz in downtown St. John's, and in the back of that market they've got they serve food over there. Tacos are the thing to get. So here we are on the St. John's Bridge, this old Gothic awesome bridge that we've got in town. Way over there you can see downtown. In the distance you might be able to see Mount Hood, don't know. And then right there behind us you can see the ridge that we just rode on. We're coming into St. John's here. This actually used to be its own city before it was made part of Portland, so it definitely has like a cool little feel to it. Like there's a nice little downtown area, some good things to eat, some coffee to get. And if you're not from Portland, you should know that a lot of people in Portland think that this is like the end of the earth. Like, oh god, I gotta go to St. John's, that's so far away. Like, we've been riding for 28 minutes and we are 13.9 miles away from where we started at Vespa Portland. And we're gonna head over toward kind of the back way toward University of Portland on North Willamette. I hope to make some more of these videos at some point. It's been pretty crazy busy at our shop, and so the video production has gone way down. I think the last ones we loaded up at this point were probably 2 months ago. Sorry for the wait if you have been following the channel. If you're new to it, hey, hit that like and subscribe button. I really have a hard time saying that. It just feels so cheesy, but it really helps get our stuff out in front of people's eyes when they search for Vespa and scooter related content. Over here on the right is the University of Portland. And here we are back on the actual pretty part of Willamette. So I don't know if the GoPro is going to bring this up. I know I'm filming in the wide setting, but if you look that direction, there's downtown Portland, and then like obviously you see that whole green hill behind it. That is all where we rode. So the tracker is telling me 16.1 miles. It took 34 minutes, just clicked over to 35. So not hard, you know, easy thing to do. It's only 16 miles. You're not going to burn a lot of gas doing this ride, but it takes up enough time to feel like you kind of did something, and it's just a real super simple one that anyone can really access in Portland. It's probably the closest, easiest ride to do on any kind of like regular basis. So probably gonna end it right there. Just looking back at the hill right along that hill. It's kind of weird to think that that's actually where it just was, but that's what the map says. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, turn on notifications, that sort of thing. We'll try to do some more of this sort of video, show off some of the places in Oregon where you can ride if you live here, or if you don't, just to give you some inspiration to come and visit us someday. It's a good time here. It's a great place to live. Actually, no, it's terrible. You should never move here. Never, never. This is Andrew at Vespa Portland on North Willamette Drive at this point. Thanks for watching. See you next time.